Welcome everyone to our first Day of Hope online worldwide Remembrance ceremony. Before we start the ceremony this evening, I would just like to ask you all to turn off any background noises and switch your phones to silent so that you can allow yourself to be fully present with us during the ceremony. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for waiting for us. We've had a few technical difficulties this morning, and so we really appreciate you waiting. I'd also like to take this opportunity to give my deep, heartfelt gratitude to the 7 amazing speakers that we have here today. Each inspiring mother from our community speaking today has chosen something beautiful to read in honour of all of our journeys through grief and healing. Thank you, ladies, for giving us your time and hearts and for being brave enough to stand here with us live in front of the world. Your dedication to this day is admired and very much appreciated. We would now like to begin the ceremony by asking everyone in their homes to light a candle of memory in memory of our children. So please, if you can just take a few moments to do that. If you don't have a candle, please do not worry, as we've got one lit here for you. And we light these candles in honour and in memory of all babies and children that have died. May we remember them with love, and may they be spoken of always. Today we also light a candle to honour all the families in this world who have lived with or are living with and through infertility. Today we think of you all and we acknowledge your journey. These candles burn not only for us, but for our ancestors who have gone before us and were made to grieve in silence. May we honour them today by speaking openly about our journeys. As you light your candle, I invite you all to join us in a moment of reflection. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths in and out. Think about your journey and how it is that you find yourself here today in this present moment with us all. Think about the people in your life that have supported you. Think about the people that have come into your life because of your children. And think about everything that your child has taught you in their short life. Just take a moment to slow down and think about why we are all here. On the next breath in, think about the love that you have for your children, and on the breath out, breathe that love back out. Breathing in for 3 counts. 1, 2, 3, and breathing out for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let that love that you have for your child be your guiding strength for the rest of the ceremony and today. Please release any anxiety that you may feel about to do with emotions and feelings that today may bring up for you. Allow yourself to be fully present with the people who are joining you in this act of peaceful remembrance from all around the world. Know that wherever you are in your journey, whether it is very early on or many years out, that there are many people here tonight who understand what you are going through. We sit with you, we grieve with you, we heal with you, and we love with you. Know these truths and feel the love that has brought us all together here today in this very moment, and know that you are not alone. Let us set an intention right now to honour these babies and children and our own personal journey of grief in a profound and meaningful way that brings recognition to our community. We come from all different countries and time zones, different backgrounds, beliefs, religions, and stories, as a deep mark of respect to honour and remember the precious lives of all the babies and children who have gone before us. With all our differences, there is one common bond that we all share, and that is the deep love that we have for our children. Today, we are united as one. We are gathered in each other's presence to celebrate August 19th, Day of Hope. This is a day for our community to unite together as one, to openly speak about the babies and children that have died. They are not sad circumstances or tragic events that happen to us, but beloved sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, grandsons and granddaughters, godchildren and friends, human beings. Every single one of these precious lives matter, and that is why we are here today. August 19th is a day of hope and healing for the families left behind missing their children. We did not just lose a hope or a dream, we lost part of ourselves. A piece of our heart will always be missing, but that does not mean that we have to lose our lives too. Our hearts may be cracked open wide, but we can fill those cracks with love and in time become whole again. Today around the world, over 2,700 families will be hanging up prayer flags that they have handmade in honour of their babies and children. Included in these families are people who have never been able to fall pregnant. They have made prayer flags for acceptance or hope for a brighter future. May the wind pass through our prayer flags and take our children's names and whisper them to the entire world so that the world may hear their names and never forget them. May we give our lives to living wholeheartedly for our babies and children, and may we speak love and kindness, hope and peace in their honour every day. And it is on that note that I would like to invite our very first speaker, Carrie Fisher-Pasquale from the Still Project in Los Angeles, California, to read a passage from the book Blue Nights by Joan Didion. Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you, Carly. And I just want to send so much love out to everyone who is watching and celebrating these lives with us tonight. I will be reading tonight in honor of my daughter, Elena Rebecca. This was never supposed to happen to her. I remember thinking, outraged, as if she and I had been promised a special exemption. When we talk about mortality, we are talking about our children. I just said that, but what does it mean? Another way of acknowledging that our children are hostages to fortune. But when we talk about our children, what are we saying? Are we saying what it meant to us to have them? What it meant to us to not have them? What it meant to let them go? Are we talking about the enigma of pledging ourselves to protect the unprotectable? About the whole puzzle of being a parent? Time passes. Could it be that I heard it more this way? Time passes, but not so aggressively that anyone notices. Or even, time passes, but not for me. Time passes. Could it be that I never believed it? Did I believe the blue nights would last forever?
Thank you so much, Carrie. That was beautiful. I'd now like to invite Francesca Cox from Wild Feathers Vintage in Houston, Texas, who will now share a passage from the book A Grief Observed by C.S. Lewis. Thank you, Francesca.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a huge honor. No one ever told me that grief felt so like fear. I am not afraid, but the sensation is like being afraid. The same fluttering in the stomach, the same restlessness, the yawning. I keep on swallowing. At other times it feels like being mildly drunk or concussed. There is a sort of invisible blanket between the world and me. I find it hard to take in what anyone says. or perhaps hard to want to take it in. It is so uninteresting. Yet I want others to be about me. I dread the moments when the house is empty. If only they would talk to one another and not to me.
Thank you, Francesca. Natalie Himmerich from the Grieving Parents Network in Zurich, Switzerland, will now read a passage from the book The Invitation by Orion Mountain Dreamer. Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you, Kylie. Today I'm reading in honor of my daughter, Amaya America. The Invitation. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear or further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes, without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you're telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty, even if it's not pretty, every day. And if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after a night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me to know how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments.
Thank you so much, Natalie. That was amazing. I'd now like to invite Mandy Hansen from Still Standing magazine in Wilmot, South Dakota, to read I Carry Your Heart by E.E. Cummings. Thanks, Mandy.
Thank you, Carly. I just want to say that I'm here for all of my fellow infertile women who have never been pregnant, who will never be pregnant, and all of my other lost moms. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it. Anywhere I go, you go, my dear. And whatever is done by me is your doing, my darling. I fear no fate, for you are my fate, my sweet. I want no world, for beautiful you are, my world, my true. And it's you, whatever a moon has always meant, and whatever a sun will always sing is you. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root, and the bud of the bud, and the sky of a tree called life, which goes higher than the soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart, I carry it in my heart.
Thank you, Mandy. That was beautiful. I know that That passage touches a lot of families in our community, so I'm so glad that you chose that one. I would now like to invite Kylie Krekorian from Return to Zero in Los Angeles, California, to read a passage from the book How Not to Be Afraid of Your Own Life by Susan Paiva. Thank you, Kylie.
Thank you, Carly, and thank you for inviting me to be part of this. I'm reading this passage today in honor of my son Norbert. When you trust in your own happiness, you can allow the entire scope of experience to touch your heart. This is the mark of the spiritual warrior. She can hold sweetness, sorrow, rage, and delight equally and fully. She can watch as emotions rise and fall. Notice how she reaches out to some and recoils from others, and know that somehow she'll find a way to make whatever she experiences a part of the path. Whether her world is friendly or inhospitable, smooth or rocky, she can abide in it wholeheartedly. A joyful mind is as infinite as the sky, and like the sky, can contain sunshine and storms, snowflakes and hail. Conditions are continually shifting, but the sky is always the sky. It never gives up. From within it, the great sun rises in the east, the moon meets the tide, and the circle is always complete.
Thank you so much, Kylie. I would now like to invite Lori Mullins-Innes from Still Standing magazine in Jupiter, Florida, to now share A Grace Disguised, How the Soul Grows Through Loss by Gerald Lawson Sitzer. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Carly, and thank you for the opportunity. I can't imagine that any of us could have ever pictured that we'd be able to come together or even have the need to do something like this at any point in our lives. So I appreciate that the opportunity exists, and I'm grateful for it. Gifts of grace come to all of us, but we must be ready to see and willing to receive these gifts. It will require a kind of sacrifice, the sacrifice of believing that however painful our losses, life can still be good. Good in a different way than before, but nevertheless good. I will never recover from my loss, and I will never get over missing the ones I lost. But I still cherish life. I will always want the ones I lost back again. I long for them with all my soul. But I still celebrate the life I have found because they are gone. I have lost, but I have also gained. I lost the world I love, but I gained a deeper awareness of grace. That grace has enabled me to clarify my purpose in life and rediscover the wonder of the present moment.
Thank you so much, Laurie. Lindsay Hank from Pregnancy Loss Support in Minneapolis, Minnesota, will now read a passage from The Farewell from the Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Thank you, Lindsay.
And thanks for letting me be here. It's an honor. And today I'm going to read in honor of my daughter, Nora. Farewell to you and the youth I have spent with you. It was but yesterday we met in a dream. You have sung to me in my aloneness, and I, of your longings, have built a tower in the sky. But now our sleep has fled, and our dream is over, and it is no longer dawn. The noontide is upon us, and our half-waking has turned to a fuller day, and we must part. If in the twilight of memory we should meet once more, we shall speak again together, and you shall sing to me a deeper song. And if our hands should meet in another dream, we shall build another tower in the sky.
Thank you, Lindsay. It's one of my most favourite passages ever, so I'm so glad that you were able to read that out. We're coming to the end of our remembrance ceremony today. So with that, I wanted to give you all who are joining us from around the world my sincere love and gratitude for being here with us. This is the first time that our community has ever been able to host a remembrance ceremony online for everybody to join in at the same time. So to all the people that have got up in the middle of the night to watch this, my sincere gratitude to you. It means the world. On Monday, August 18th, 2008, I sat on the floor of my living room, holding a small plastic bag of ashes. I remember looking at them and wondering how it was even possible that they were the ashes of the remains of one of my children. What was the point to all of this? Why did he come to us only to die before he could take a breath of air from this world? What did we do that was so wrong in this life to deserve this? I was still in a state of disbelief even 18 months after his death and birth. It was a Monday night, and on that night I reached out for help on the internet. I wrote on my blog about how I could not see the light anymore. I had stopped living. There was no point, and I had given up. Before I went to bed, when I was closing down the internet, I noticed there was a comment left on my blog post. It was from a beautiful bereaved mother named Adrian Graves from Colorado in the USA. Adrian reached out to me and spoke these simple words. I pray your Tuesday brings you hope. That evening I went to bed and dreamt of my son for the very first time since he was born. I saw him playing on the beach. He was writing his name in the sand. He was healthy, he was happy, he was perfect, he was whole. This dream brought me back to my life. And I've held on to that vision of him playing on the beach ever since that night, back in the winter of 2008. Christian, my beautiful son, is the inspiration behind all of my healing and my heart work. It is because of him that I live an amazingly authentic, wonderful life rich with emotions and experiences. That Tuesday night brought me hope, and that hope changed my life forever. I wrote a new blog that day to document what had happened, and I titled that blog post Tuesday's Hope. It was only a few weeks later when a stranger named Sally Heppelston from Melbourne, Australia left a comment under my Tuesday's Hope blog post. She wanted to let me know that her precious firstborn daughter was stillborn at 40 weeks and 5 days on that very same day, August 19th, 2008. Sally and her husband Simon named their beautiful daughter Hope. Lost for words at the synchronicity of our situation, I reached out to Sally, and we've been wonderful friends ever since. And even though we live states apart, we've had the opportunity to meet up 3 times in person. I'm forever grateful for the connections that I have made and the beautiful friends that have come into my life through Christian. There are gifts to be found in this journey. There are friendships to be made, and there is beauty to be found. You just need to open your heart to be able to see these gifts. This journey of grief is entirely yours. Like the author of a book, you decide how your grief story is written. You have the power to honour your children and create a beautiful life in remembrance of them. Grieving and living wholeheartedly can coexist. I leave you all with one of my favourite quotes from Albert Einstein. Quote, "There are 2 ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle, or you can live as if everything is a miracle." Unquote. Our babies and children are still miracles. It doesn't matter that they're gone. It doesn't matter how long they lived for or whether they took a breath or not. May we live for them. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And please, you're welcome to come back to the event page and join us there for any discussion that you feel that you need to have. Thank you so much for being with us. Bye for now.